What's up? On today's video, I'm going to show you my top 3 favorite ways to find cash buyers. Now, this could apply towards houses or for vacant land, but mainly I'm going to be talking about how to find cash buyers for your house deals, for your traditional wholesaling deals, right? And this is very, very simple. I'm going to try to keep this under 15 minutes. Might go a little long, but this is stuff that you can actually take and start implementing today, right? So this mind map I'm showing you here, you can get access to this mind map. If you click the link below in the description, I'll give you this mind map for free. There's some cool links and tools and spreadsheets in here. It's yours completely free. The link is in the description down below. So one of the first things I always like to do, I do a lot of deep scientific research, and I go to the Googles, and if it's in Google, if it's on the internet, it must be true. And I type in something like top cash flow markets. Why is that? Because I believe that some of the easiest markets to wholesale in are the markets where there's a lot of cash flowing deals. So I like selling deals to landlords. Out-of-state landlords that come in and buy rental properties are some of the best buyers, and they usually pay the most for their properties, and you can make good wholesale fees with them. Also, in those areas, there's going to be a lot of rehabbers as well. So I'm not looking for the high appreciating markets where there's, you can buy properties for for $1 million and rehab them and sell them for $2 million. I'm talking the bread and butter, middle class, blue collar neighborhoods where there are still properties you can buy that cash flow. Those are some of the best markets to wholesale deals in. So I like to go to the Google and just do a search for top cash flow markets or something like that. You'll find a lot of articles and videos and posts and, from different websites and Forbes and Money Magazine, and a bunch of them that will give you their top places to invest in. Usually Bigger Pockets, great website, is here at the top. So if we just click on this, and I already did here, if you scroll down, it basically what they're looking for is the rent to for sale price ratio. So the lower the price, the higher the rent to price ratio will be. I think I got that right. And so the higher the better, right? Give more cash flow for your buck. And so these are some of the best markets if you look right here. Detroit, Baltimore, Memphis, Cleveland, Birmingham, Philadelphia, Dayton, Milwaukee, Little Rock, and Rochester. Let's just go with Little Rock, Arkansas, okay? You can get median sale price of a home in Little Rock is $130,000. Little Rock, that whole area of Arkansas is beautiful, and it's a great rental market. The median price rents are over $1,000 a month. So also what I'm thinking is that doctor, that cosmetic surgeon in California, New York, they want to get into real estate. They got a lot of money sitting aside. And they're thinking, where should I invest money? Where should I buy some real estate deals? They go to Google. They search best rental markets, best cash flow markets. They see this list. They say, oh, Little Rock, Arkansas looks interesting. And then they go to Google and look for deals, look for property managers, wholesalers like you and me. So this is why I want to go with Little Rock, Arkansas in my example here. Now, Little Rock I did some more scientific research. Little Rock, Arkansas is in Pulaski County, Arkansas. So I did a little research in Zillow, again, for what's the area of Pulaski County, Arkansas like? And you can see the median home price is $190,000. There is some price growth there. That's good. And it's just a good market. Little Rock is really nice. And you can get a bunch of information on Zillow and just Googling, just Google Pulaski County median home price, and you'll see a lot of websites there with good research on the counties. All right, so the first place I like to go, if we go here to my mind map, is ListSource. And I call this the hard way, although it's not really hard, but you kind of have to play with some numbers a little bit. And I have the spreadsheet that makes it easier for you. And if you get my mind map, you click the spreadsheet, it's going to open up something like this. Now, you could target the whole county or spray and pray for your marketing when you're looking for sellers. But why not instead focus on the top, instead of all 25 zip codes, what if you focus just maybe on the top 5 zip codes where at least 50% of all the activity is happening? And that's what I'm going to show you how to do here in ListSource, because we want to find the best buyers. What are they buying? Where are they buying it? How much are they paying for it? We want to know where the demand is. We want to follow the money. Write that down. It's so important when you're trying to find buyers for your deals, and you want to be laser focused on your marketing, not spray and pray like a shotgun. So let's find out where the top buyers are buying, and let's target those areas. So ListSource, you get a free account at ListSource, and we're going to go through this like we are pretending to buy a list, but we're not actually going to buy a list. I'm going to go through this fast So if you're watching this, just pause it and do what I'm doing, okay? I logged into ListSource. I'm going to go right here to Investor and Foreclosure Services, Absentee Owners. And let me give a preface to all of this. Almost every time I do any kind of demo of any kind of software, there always are hiccups and, oh, that's not working, or this isn't working, or it's slow or whatever. So just be patient with me. Trust me, these things work. I'm going to show you a few other things. And so hopefully this works. All right, you give me a little grace. Cool. Now we're going to go to geography. I'm going to click county. I'm going to select Arkansas here and Pulaski County, right? Pick Pulaski County, add them in. So there are 25,800 absentee owners properties, absentee-owned properties in Pulaski. Now, what is an absentee owner? Good question. I forgot to say this. An absentee owner is somebody who owns a property but doesn't live there. They live somewhere else. So the mailing address of the property address is different than the mailing address where the tax bill is sent. That's how you can tell it's an absentee owner. There's two addresses in the county records, the property address and the address where the tax bill is sent. So that's an absentee owner, right? So good. Now what we're going to do is go down to the bottom and click Next. Then we're going to select, let's just select single family homes right here, SFR, single family. Or you could also select this thing and then bring them over with that. And that brings over townhomes, duplexes, and all of that. Cool. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And then right here, last market recording date, I'm going to say last 3 months. I only want the last 3 months of activity. And we scroll up and there's 284 properties. Now we can get more. There's more. So we click on Next right here. And I'm going to scroll down. And then right here, corporate owned properties, we're going to say no preference. So I don't care if it's an LLC or a private owner that bought that absentee owned property. I just want to know where they're buying. So now we have 527 in the last 3 months. That's good. Now let's say you're back at this list here, which one thing you could do is look at Detroit, look at Baltimore, Memphis, Cleveland, Ohio, Birmingham, and see of these, 10 or so markets, which ones have the most transactions in the last 3 months. Maybe you should be focusing on that. I do that all the time with land. I make a list of 10, 20 counties, and then I just go into Redfin or ListSource or something like this and see, all right, which ones have the most sold vacant lots or houses in the last 90 days. That would be a good place to go because, again, we are following the demand, following the money. Okay? This will make your job so much easier when you learn how to wholesale deals if you follow the money. Because when you get a deal in these areas, guess what? It's going to be easy to sell, and you're going to be able to sell them faster and at a higher price than if you're just spraying and praying and going after any kind of small town, whatever. So we got corporate owned, no preference. Now I'm going to pretend like I'm purchasing the list. I click Purchase List. Then I'm going to click Purchase Partial List. And then right here, Custom Selection, I'm going to select from the drop-down zip code. And hot, holy banana pants. Look at that. I've got a table now of all of the zip codes and the number of records in each of those zip codes. Now you can click Export, and you can export it into a spreadsheet. It'll email it to you. I like to just take what I've got here, and I'm just going to copy it, put it on my clipboard, copy, and paste it in my spreadsheet that you can get access to, right? So when you get this spreadsheet, I just pasted those numbers right there. You're going to go to File, make a copy, and save this spreadsheet into your own Google Drive, or you're going to download it as a Microsoft Excel. All right, so don't, please, I get 100 or 200 or 300 of these a day on all of my tools and spreadsheets and Word documents and stuff. People go and request access to this. Don't ask for access. I'm not going to give it to you. Just make a copy of it. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to highlight all of these and copy these zip codes. And I'm going to go back to the first tab here. And I'm going to paste them right here. Boom. I just paste them there. And over here on the right, it's given me now a summary table, which is really cool because, again, there's 25 zip codes here. And it's bouncing around a little bit. But you can see this column right here is the incremental percentages of the total transactions. There's 500 and something, right? But in 72009, there were 64 transactions, which was 12% of the total. This column here is the cumulative. So why do I like this? Because here you can see, well, these 5 zip codes have 50% of all the activity. So if I'm going to be smart about this, I want to know, all right, who are the buyers that are buying in 72209, 72204, 72076? And I want to target those areas because if I get a deal there, then I will get it. It'll be easier to sell. Clear as mud? Okay. So now what I can do is I can take these zip codes, for example. I'm going to copy them. And if you're using, one of the next tools I talk about is PropStream. So I'm going to jump down a little bit. If you go to PropStreamJoe.com, you get a 7-day free trial. I use PropStream a lot. It's amazing. It's just $97. And I'm going to show you one of the cool things you can do there with PropStream. I'm going to log in, close your eyes. I've just taken those top zip codes here, right? I've copied them onto my clipboard. And I'm going to paste them right here in the search bar, and I click those. And so now what it just did is it gives me now, there's 66,840 properties in those 5 zip codes. All right, now watch me here. I'm going to go to filter. I want to say owner occupied, no. That's just another way of saying absentee owner, no. I'm going to go to property characteristics. I typically, again, only like dealing with single families. All right, so now there's 15,000 single family homes in those 5 zip codes. And I'm going to go down here. Now, you might want to do, all right, you could do this if you wanted. You could say, I want, every house to have at least 3 bedrooms, and I want it to be at least 1,000 square feet. Because you don't want to maybe deal with the 2-bedroom, 980 square foot houses. So now I got 3,800. Cool. But here's the thing. Maybe I'm not going to do that because sometimes in these counties, they don't track. Maybe they don't track the size of the square footage, or they don't track number of bedrooms in public records. Also, I don't know. Maybe all of these buyers are buying condos in these zip codes. Maybe they're all buying 1-bedrooms, 500 square foot houses. I want the market to tell me what they want. I'm not going to dictate what I want to them. I want them to tell me what they want. The same with land. You might only want to do 5+ acres. But if you're looking in a county and most of the properties being sold are 1/4 acre lots, well, you want to target 1/4 acre lots as well. Don't ignore those. All right. Anyway, we're going to go down here to ownership info. And I want buyers in these top zip codes who have bought properties in the last 3 months. I want to know who they are and what they've bought. So I'm going to go last sale date, go back 3 months. 1, 2, 3. Let's just pick April 1. Cool. Look at this. So these are absentee owners that have bought single families in the last 3 months. There's 278 of these properties. Is that cool or what? If you wanted to, you could say, all right, I only want to know the serious active buyers that have already a lot of properties. You can say right here under minimum number of properties owned, I'm going to say minimum 5, let's say. All right, so now there's 170. There's 170 different properties that were purchased in the last 3 months by an investor that already owns more than 5 properties. Is that cool? Now you could just take this right here, and I'm not going to walk you through this. You could add it to a list. You could export it, and you can see who these buyers are. One of the other things that we used to do a lot of, and this is, I'm telling you, this is crazy. What we used to do when we were wholesaling a lot of deals in St. Louis, Missouri, we were selling them to turnkey real estate buyers. So we were selling them to turnkey people that were buying a lot of properties outside of their state, a lot of rental properties. So we would look at the top rental markets like I just showed you, and we would say, all right, show us in Arkansas, in this county, all of the recent buyers who bought in that county from outside of that state. And we did that in about 12 different markets. And we got a huge list of really, really active buyers that were buying in those markets from outside of those states. So what does that tell you? They're already comfortable with buying rental properties outside of the states, right? And they've got a lot of money because they're buying a lot of them. And so we then targeted them with letters saying, hey, we see that you're an active real estate investor. You just bought something in Cleveland, Ohio. It tells us that maybe you're looking for some more. If you are, we're the premier real estate investing company in the St. Louis area. If you'd like to talk about some of the deals that we have for you, we think that you'll like them better than the properties you have in Cleveland. So call us right now at this number. And we actually got so many leads from doing that just by targeting buyers first that we stopped all of our seller marketing. And we just started getting a ton of buyers. And then we started spreading the word out in the St. Louis area amongst all the realtors and wholesalers and property managers and everybody that we knew, saying, hey, we're the new hedge fund in town. We've got $1 million burning a hole in our pocket. Send us your deals. This is what we're looking for. And then we got into the specifics. 3 bedrooms, 1,000+ square feet, no more than $20,000 in repairs. It has to rent for more than $900 a month and stuff like that. And we started getting people to bring us their deals. We had realtors bringing us deals that were happy just to make $500 commission. We had wholesalers that had good deals but couldn't sell them because they didn't have buyers. And guess what? We did. And so we were making $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 assignment fees by doing this. Crazy, right? So this is the power of finding buyers, who they are, what they're buying, and where, because you could do this to wholesale your own deals, wholesale other people's deals. Does that make sense? Isn't this amazing? I get excited about this because this is so simple. Now, so let's say I want to know, okay, in those 5 zip codes, who are the out-of-state buyers that are buying outside of that state, Arkansas, that are buying here? So you could go right here and say, all right, absentee owner location, out of state. And now we have 54 properties. Now, some of these properties might have been bought by the same person or the same company, right? But bam, look at this. So you can now export this. You go click this, add to list. You can export it into a spreadsheet. You can look to see who are these buyers, what are they buying. Let's look at this one for just a quick example here. We can see that this investor from New Jersey bought this property in Little Rock, Arkansas, less than a month ago. And they bought it for, if I click on cash sale, they bought it for $102,000. Oh, So if I'm looking for a property that looks like this in this zip code, I know a guy who will pay $102,500 for it. So when I'm talking to a seller in that area, guess what I'm going to offer? I'm going to offer maybe $90,000. Make sense? This is the power of having good cash buyers. And a lot of times you can click on this picture and get other pictures here in PropStream. And you can go to MLS details and you can see what it's sold for. A lot of times you can get the realtor's contact information, and I'm going to talk about that later because that's also one of my favorite ways to find cash buyers for your deals is by finding realtors. But I'll show you how to do that in a minute because that's ninja, high level, awesome tactics there. So anyway, yeah, you can see this deal here, and you can go to linked properties, and you can see this investor in New Jersey is an active investor, and he owns 13 other properties. And some of them are in different, Arkansas and Indiana, Florida, New Jersey. So this guy's an active investor or gal, right? Now, do you think it might be a smart idea to contact this buyer and say, hey, my name is Billy Bob. I'm an investor. I see you bought some properties in Little Rock just recently. I'm just wondering, are you looking for more? Because I get deals all the time, and I'd love to add you to my buyers list. Are you looking for more deals? Now, I would also say this too. When you're finding buyers, it's always better to have a deal first and then call these buyers. You don't want to waste their time. So I like getting a deal first. And in another video, I'll show you one of the best, coolest tricks. It's an amazing trick. Maybe I'll just tell you right now, a sneak peek. So this is going to be longer than 15 minutes. When I find these buyers and I've got a deal under contract, I like to send a desperate, how we normally send motivated seller letters, a handwritten yellow letter to a motivated seller. Hey, do you want to sell your house? I like to send the same type of letter, but to buyers pretending I'm a motivated seller. Hey, I need to sell my house. This will blow your phone up, and it works like crazy. When you get a deal under contract and you want to sell it to these buyers like this guy in New Jersey, you want to handwrite a yellow letter. It says, urgent, help, I'm desperate, I need your help. I've got this property on Greencrest Drive, and I need this thing sold today. I've been trying to sell it for a while, and I can't wait any longer. The taxes are paid, the title is clear, and I need this thing sold today. Call me right now. This is urgent. I'm desperate. Please. And then sign your name. Take that letter, crumple it up, fold it back out. Don't ask me why, but this works. Crumple it up, fold it back out, fold it in an invitation envelope, and then put in an invitation envelope, handwritten envelope, address, and then live stamp and mail those things. You get a ton of responses. Great buyers. I'm telling you, that works. Okay. Everybody I've told that's done that and will do deals, I promise. It's crazy. So anyway, this is a good buyer, right? So you could go through this entire list and find really good buyers who are buying these deals. And then you can contact them, skip trace them, call them, email them, send them letters, go knock on their door and bring them donuts. Whatever you can do to get them and tell them, hey, I got more deals. Are you interested? All right, so there's some other ways I like to find buyers as well, and I'm going to talk about FreedomSoft. FreedomSoft is amazing, some of the tools that they have. And they have something called the Zip Finder, and I'm going to show you real quickly here how to do this, how it's so stinking easy. Now let's go. Let's how about another market here? Let's go look at Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't know which county that is, but you know what? I don't think it matters. I'm just going to look. Yeah, okay. I like looking at the county. So let's just Google it. It's Milwaukee County. Wow, that's brilliant. Okay, cool. So I'm going to click on Wisconsin here. Now, what I did is I'm in FreedomSoft. You're going to go to freedomsoftjoe.com. It's my CRM that I use every day for land, houses, wholesaling, lease options, cash deals. It's amazing. It's an amazing tool. And I don't have the time to dive into all of the stuff that it does, but I love FreedomSoft. I use it. And I have a custom signature edition of FreedomSoft that I call the Joe McCall Signature Edition that you get if you get with my link, and it gets all my contracts and marketing pieces and stuff like that. But go to freedomsoftjoe.com if you're interested. That link is down below and in the description and all of that. So if you go to tools, go to Zip Finder, go to your state. Let's go to Wisconsin. And the county, I'm going to choose Milwaukee. It's kind of nice that it has the same name as the city. And then I'm going to do time frame last 90 days. Now, this takes a minute. Just be patient, and hopefully it works. Sometimes, like I gave you guys at the beginning, sometimes with software, just for whatever reason, based on the phase of the moon, it works or it doesn't work, and you might have to do it again. But here we go. Looks like it worked. And let me say something else too. I see this a lot. Well, somebody will go try ListSource, they'll try PropStream, they'll try FreedomSoft, they'll try Priced, and they get different data, and it's discouraging. Don't be discouraged by that. They all get data from different places. Some cities, some counties don't make their information as easily available to the public. So you just kind of take everything that you get and put it together and, go from there. Make sense? Now, here's the cool thing. You can see here, it shows me the top zip codes where most of the investor activity is happening in this area. So I'm just going to pick the top 3. 53214, 53209, 53218. Let's pick 5. Okay, cool. Now all I need to do is right here, click Find Buyers. It opens up a new tab. It's going to bring to me the buyers that are active in in those zip codes. I'm going to click Active Buyers, Search. All right, this takes just a minute. Cool. Here we got 402 properties in the last 90 days that were purchased by these active buyers in these top 5 zip codes. And you can start going through any of these. All right, so here's an example of one. It's 4189 North 15th Street. This was bought by this guy at this address here, and we can see what he bought it for. And then, that's a good absentee owner who's bought a property recently. So what I like to do now is I like to select all pages. So I've selected all 402 of these properties, and I'm going to add them to a lead list. And I'm going to create a new one. And I'm going to call this Demo. And I don't know how to spell Milwaukee. Let's see if I can. Oh, there it is. I have it in my clipboard. Okay, now I'm going to add them to a list. So now it's brought in 381 of these buyers into this list. Now I'm going to just change the name of this list to a Demo Buyers. So I know this is buyers. And I got 381. There were 400 and something, but it took out the ones with incomplete addresses, I think. Now I'm going to click on View All. And one of the cool things you can do with this now is you can highlight all of them. And there's a few things you can do here. You can go to More Actions. You can skip trace them. So I could skip trace all of them. I map their fields and send it to FreedomSoft. They'll come back in a few minutes with any phone numbers and emails. And I could do a cold calling campaign if I wanted to and call all of them. I could also go to More Actions, and I could do right here, boom, Send Direct Mail. And here I can choose a different sequence of direct mail letters. Now these, what I have in here are buyers, but when you get your FreedomSoft account, you'll have also another set of letters that you can send to buyers as well for houses. But anyway, you can choose. Let me show you that desperate buyer letter. If you click on this thing here, you get a preview of it. And while that preview is opening, all right, so I can choose a campaign. The phone numbers are inside of FreedomSoft, or you can put your own phone number in here as well, right? So when anybody calls that phone number, that lead will create a new lead inside of that campaign. And you can put your name, your return information, etc. So this is what one of the letters will look like inside of FreedomSoft, and it's handwritten on a yellow paper, and some of the fields are missing here because I didn't have time to set it up right, but it will say, hey, I desperately need to sell my vacant lot or my house near the one that you own near blah, blah, blah. Call me right now. I want to sell it. So FreedomSoft has a lot of different marketing pieces and direct mail that you can send to buyers. The other cool thing is, now that you've kind of done your buyer marketing for these buyers in these zip codes, you can click right here and find the sellers who own properties in that area. And what I like to do is I like to look at tired landlords. Now I'm going to go to advanced search. So I want absentee owners, and I'm going to say no preference for vacant, high equity. Yeah, let's do, this is a real simple list. This is absentee owners with high equity. And I could click search here, and what it's going to do is give me, this might take a minute, but it's going to give me a ton of absentee owners who have owned their properties for a long time in these 5 zip codes who have a lot of equity. What do you do with them? All right, there's 3,462 of them. I could add all of these 3,400 into another list. I can get that list, I could skip trace them, and I can send them letters, postcards, and do some marketing. But see what I'm talking about? My whole point of all this is find the buyers first, find out where the activity is, and then send them marketing, okay? Now, back to the mind map. One of my favorite sources for finding buyers is also Redfin. And if you go to Redfin, let's go back to, we were looking at Pulaski County before, right? And I'm just going to go to the Redfin homepage. I'm going to type in Pulaski County, Arkansas. And what are we doing here? Redfin's not going to tell us who the buyers are. But you know what? Actually, we have those top zip codes, right? Let's look in that one zip code, 72209. Let's go there. Let's just look in that zip code right here. This is a hot activity. This is a hot zip code where there's a lot of activity, right? I'm going to go to solds. I want to look the last 6 months. Let's do last 3 months. That's fine. Okay. Boom. Click done. And I want only single-family homes. And what am I looking for here? I am looking for properties that have been recently rehabbed and sold because I want to contact the realtors and say, hey, your client who rehabbed that property, are they looking for any more deals? Sometimes you just can't tell until you start looking. Oh, and look at this. Does this look like a new rehab to you? Sure does to me, right? And sometimes you can go into these properties, go to view details. You can go to sales and tax history. And sometimes you can see when it was, well, this doesn't go back far enough, but sometimes you can see when the property was purchased at, whatever price, and then when it was listed again, and then when it was sold, all right here. Now, here's the other cool thing. The main thing I want with this, I see from the pictures, this sold over a month ago. This was a recent rehab. You can just tell from the pictures, right? But then right here is the listing agent, Andre Brunson, Keller Williams Realty LR branch. And it was bought with Selena Felton. I don't care too much about contacting the buyer's agent because the buyer's agent, they're not going to know who the rehabber was of this property. But guess what? I can Google this person. I don't know if it's a guy or a lady, Andre. I think we'll find out in a second, hopefully, by looking at the picture. This guy represented, and look, there's his phone number. His website, his contact information here. You can email him right here. But this is somebody that represented the rehabber who purchased this property. You think if you call Andre, hey, my name is Joe, I have another property in this area, and I think you or your client might be interested in this deal. If you can bring me a buyer, I'll pay you generous commissions. You can represent me and help me sell this thing. Cool? All right. That's just one deal here. Let's look at some more maybe. I'm just looking for properties again that look like they're rehabbed. This one does not look like a rehab. Let's find one that's a little bit more expensive. This one maybe. This one looks pretty good. Got a new kitchen in it. There's nothing in the, this looks like another rehab right here. Click on view details and scroll down. Marianne Campbell, RE501 Partners. Just Google, go to the first link, and you get her contact information and ask her if her clients are looking for more deals. Do you see what I'm saying? So that pretty much is it. just kind of review this in summary. Oh, by the way, there's some other good tools here. I talked about PropStream Joe. Propwire is another great tool. Propwire is a tool that my good friend Jerry Norton from the Flipping Mastery channel created. Let's just go look at one of these counties, shall we? Let's go Pulaski County, Arkansas. You can go here to lead. Let's go to property types, single family homes. Let's go to more. Property filters. I don't care much. Owner filters. Boom. Here we go. I want out-of-state owners. Owner occupied, no. Out-of-state owners. Hopefully this works. Minimum property zone 5. And financial filters. I want people that bought a property in the last 3 months. 1, 2, 3. Okay, boom. There you go. So Pulaski County, here are 78 properties that were purchased from somebody in the last 3 months that live outside of the state that own 5 or more properties. And there's other things you can do in here. You can say, all right, show me the ones that they're cash buyers. Although I don't care if they're a cash buyer or not. They're an investor buyer. Sometimes investors buy with cash. Sometimes they buy with hard money. Sometimes they buy with bank financing. I don't care how they buy it. So I just want any absentee owner. Okay. And you can also do in-state, but this is a great list. Now you can take this entire list, right? You can download it. Propwire allows, you have to pay for it. You can skip trace them. You can send them a letter. But now you can look their information up. Let's look at this one of them right here. Some investor bought this property. Yep, and they own 6 other properties, okay? And they live in Massachusetts, which I don't think is anywhere near Arkansas, is it? And I could click skip trace if I wanted to. I could skip trace them and call them and see, hey, are you looking for more properties? Is that cool? All right, these are some of my favorite ways to find buyers. Buyers are important because you want to follow the money. You want to follow the demand. You want to make sure you're not spraying and praying marketing all over the entire country. You want to focus on states and in counties and on zip codes where there's a lot of buyer activity. It just makes everything so much easier. When you've got your zip codes down, you want to find out who are the active buyers that are buying a lot of properties there. What are they buying? Where are they buying it? That's where you target your marketing. And then when you get a deal, you know how to reach them and contact them. You find the buyers themselves, you skip trace them, you call them, you send them letters. You find the realtors who represented them, who did rehabs. You call the realtors, you offer them commissions, and that's it. That's how it's played. All right, I appreciate you all. See you later. Click the link in the description down below to get some of the tools and the mind map and the spreadsheets and stuff that I showed you. Take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. If you like my channel at all, please hit the subscribe button. Get the notification bell thing clicked so you can get notified when new videos come out. Really appreciate it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, all right? Thank you.